This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Thursday, the 5th day of July in the year 2018. Here's what we're tracking tonight. Cabinet has approved the second tranche of severance pay for retrenched sugar workers, in keeping with its promise to do so within a specified time frame, according to the State Minister Joe Harmon. Mr. Harmon made the announcement today during his post-cabinet briefing and said the payments will commence soon.
Cabinet discussed payment of the second tranche of severance to sugar workers and iterated its commitment to honoring the agreement to make the remaining severance payment within the time it promised.
He explained that efforts to have several government agencies and ministries scale back on their budgets to make money available for this purpose has been successful, and government now has enough money to move ahead with making the second payment to sugar workers across the country. The first 50% was paid to retrenched workers back in January, with promises to pay the other half by mid-year. That commitment represented over $2 billion in severance payments. Government had faced widespread criticism and protest action following its decision to close several sugar estates, and further protests came when the severance payments could not be made at the end of December 2017, the last working day for hundreds of sugar workers. Well, the Georgetown City Council is now reaching out to the owners of the Seepersaud Sons jewelry store days after a multi-million-dollar heist at the company's Stabroek Market location. The Georgetown City Council manages the Stabroek Market and is in charge of its security through the City Constabulary. Today, Chief Constable Andrew Fu said an internal investigation has commenced into the heist, even as he complained that the City Constabulary was informed of the incident hours after it took place.
I can say here at this point in time that I'm quite aware that the market will have been in terms of covered by personnel. Throughout that period, that weekend period from Saturday to Monday, we would have had in terms of coverage, and we would have had in terms of checks also being conducted at different points by our duty officers. Therefore, in terms of the report on Tuesday of a breakage of that magnitude within the Stabroek Market is cause for concern to the council.
A team from City Hall headed by Deputy Mayor Akeem Peters met with the proprietors earlier today as the investigations continue. Town Clerk Royston King observed that the family has been operating the business in the market for well over 80 years, and also reminded of a similar robbery back in 2014.
The Constabulary has been alert and has been working. This is not the first time that we've had such an incident with that particular stall. And again, to say that we have launched an internal investigation, notwithstanding the investigations managed by the Guyana police force.
There has been no official report of the extent of the losses suffered by Seepersaud Sons. However, company officials said the robbery must have taken place on Monday night, and they cannot understand how the thieves made it past all of their security layers to break into the safe. Today, the owners of Seepersaud Sons said they would offer no comment on the issue, as they are now more concerned about security. In the courts now, the cosmetologist who was busted at the Chedijagan airport with cocaine stashed in her vagina and in her stomach appeared in court today and was sentenced to 3 years in jail after pleading guilty to the cocaine trafficking charge. 37-year-old Natasha Blair of Grove on the east bank of the Marara appeared before the chief magistrate and opted not to waste the court's time. She admitted that on the 2nd of July at the Chedijagan airport, she had 532 grams of cocaine in her possession for the purpose of trafficking. She was held by ranks of the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit at the airport while she was getting ready to board a flight to New York City. She was taken to a city hospital where she excreted several cocaine pellets and had a package of the prohibited drug removed from her vagina. In court today, the woman who was traveling with her young baby stood quietly, dressed in black. She was represented by attorney Keoma Griffith, who begged the court to have mercy on the mother. Mercy came in the form of 3 years in jail and a fine of $1.1 million. And finally, 2 weeks after a 12-member jury found Delon Henry, also known as Nasty Man, guilty of murdering footballer Dexter Griffith, the judge in the case handed down a 51-year jail sentence today. The murder took place back in 2015. Nasty Man, who has been fingered in a number of other crimes, waved to persons outside the courtroom following the sentence. He showed no signs of emotions as the judge handed down the lengthy sentence. Throughout the trial, Nasty Man had maintained his innocence, even as witnesses came forward pinning him directly to the crime. While on trial, he told the court that he has been in jail for most of his life and would not even have knowledge of the area where Griffith was shot dead. In response to the guilty plea, Nasty Man, who is likely to face other charges, said he believes the decision was based with the system being set up against him. It was back in September of 2015 that footballer Dexter Griffith was riddled with bullets near his home in Warlock, East Ruimveldt. The murder was described as an execution. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting.